Hello and welcome to the Education Management Information System project. As you can see, this is the home page. So this is because the project is still under development. I have not yet concluded it, so some things are just going to be dummy, but everything here, the data I use is based on a real data because I collected the data from the Ministry of Education because that's where I did my industrial training. So this is the homepage, and as you can see, this is little visual data about schools in my state, Gombe, and the number of enrollments. So this is just nice charts, and you can see them in figure here. So you can also come to the schools section, in which you can see information about schools if you want information about schools. So now the data has finished loading from the server, and we can see information about all schools, enrollments, and all sort of things for all local governments. As you can see, we have a filter here that we can filter out a specific local government. And here, let's take Gombe for example. We can see the total number of schools, total number of enrollments, and total number of primary schools, junior secondary, senior secondary, and private schools, and science and vocational. We can also see the number of enrollments based on primary, junior, secondary, private, or science and vocational schools. I also wanted to add the functionality for displaying maps for each of the schools. So I actually collected the data for coordinates for each of the schools, so you should be able to display schools, but because there was not enough time and I have not get the time to fully implement it, so that's why I'm not going to be showing it here. And the next thing is the admin panel. So this is the admin panel. This is where you can do all sort of things. This is where all the data is. You can manipulate the data, you can temper it, you can create super users, you can create forms, send SSM, SMS, send emails, and also. So let's start with the staffs. So you can see here, these are the list of the staffs we have, and also this is not all the list of the staffs we have in Gombe, so these are just some of them that I was given. So for example, we want to view the data for this, we can just click on it and it will load the data for us, and we can see all sorts of information about him, his full name, gender, email, blah blah blah, and where the school. We can also filter it out if we want the number of for Gombe or Akko, any local government. We can also use the filter search over here. We can search for any name. So, and for schools as well, it's just also like that of staffs. It will display a list of the schools. So my computer is actually slowing down, and now we have the list of the schools. We can also filter it out just like we did in the staffs. And then the forms. So it happens that when the ministry wanted to collect data from staffs or from schools, they had to manually provide a medium. They have to provide a form. So, and I'm not talking of digital form, I'm talking of form on paper, the ones. So they have to take it to each of the schools we have in Gombe. So I just created these forms to make things easy for them, so that they can be able to easily create forms, and then they can just send links to the schools or to the staffs, whatever the target is, so that they can fill it and it will automatically download it in the database, instead of having to employ other people's for to do the data entering and data validation, which is going to take a lot of time. So this one really saves time. So let's open one of the templates here. So this is the interface of the forms. Here you can design the form. Here you can do all sorts of things. So this is the form title and form description. So you can add a description here, and let's view one of the questions. So here, this is full name. This will be like the column in an Excel spreadsheet or in the database. So we also have validators which you can use to validate the type of data the user provided. So here we can actually see the input type. We can change if we want a number from the user, or we want him to enter an email. So that is that. We can also delete if we want, but we don't want to do that. So we also have different types of questions. So you can there is a multiple choice, single choice, short answer, date, and file upload as well. So like if you want user to upload a file, just think of this like a Google Forms but with minimum features. So once you finish creating designing your form, you can save it. You can also view a preview here. So this is the preview. So since this is a preview, we cannot impute anything. If we wanted to impute anything, we have to create a link for the form. After the link is being generated, then we can visit that page, and then we can use it to create. So we can fill out name and anything that is required, and it also validates that everything is correct. Then we have send mail. So in this category, you can, if you want to send an email to the staffs, so you can select the number of staffs you want. So for example, you want to send it to all staffs in Gombe, so you can select it and then select all and then OK, and then you can type in the subject and the message and send. The same goes for the SMS and super users. So super users are just like, they are not technically admin, but they have some permissions to certain resources. So you can easily create super users, so that the admin doesn't have to be a single admin. So you can create super users to help you with, like, if a staff lost his login credentials, so he can contact one of the super users, so that the work will not be too much for the administrator. And here you can see the list of allowed permission. So you can allow him to have access to staffs, schools, forms, whichever you prefer. You can update the login credentials. Over here you can restrict the account and also delete the account. So let's try to log in as one of the super users. So we can see now, as a super user, these are only the resources I am allowed to have access to. Why this solves a problem is that most of the times you will see people coming from different places. They have to travel all the way to the actual capital local government and to the Ministry of Education just to get a data about schools, just to get a data about a specific school or some specific schools in in specific local governments. So this easily solves the problem because this provides a medium which you can have, you can see, you can view, you can also download all the information you want for the school. As I've mentioned, the future is not yet implemented, but there is a future such that you can be able to use maps to navigate to the school. If you want coordinates for the schools, there are also coordinates provided. You can download here. Here you can also use it to download the data about schools in specific local governments. You can also download it for a single school. So that that is all. This is my little project. I hope it will be considered. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much.